What's up, everybody? The Inquisitive Mamba here, back with another podcast. This is episode 17. I got the MLB, I got the NHL, and I got the NBA for today's show. But before I get started, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about my weekend. I did some food reviews with some friends. I did a food review with my very own high school basketball coach, Matt Herding, also goes by Maddie Roberts. We got to have Maddie on the show soon. Make sure to check out that episode on my Instagram TV. My Instagram is at @thejoymonroe. We're growing every day. We're doing more and more food reviews, and let's get right to it. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about on today's episode is the NBA play-in. Obviously, you guys know the NBA season ended last night. LeBron went out in that game against the Pelicans late. He ended up tweaking his ankle again on Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Actually hit his foot, or they bumped into each other, whatever. But LeBron left the game late. I really don't understand why LeBron was even in that game. You knew they were probably going to either play the Warriors or I don't think Portland was going to blow it to the Nuggets. It just didn't seem like they would. I don't even think Jokic played, but that's not the here nor there. Lakers have the Warriors Wednesday night in a play-in game. It's going to be a really, really big game. I'm interested to see if LeBron will be fully healthy, as you know, he did tweak that ankle. Steph Curry ended up winning the scoring title for the third time in his career, second or third time. I don't remember if it was second or third, but anyways, so Warriors-Lakers Wednesday night. That'll be a huge game. Another rivalry of another saga of the LeBron Curry era. Another one. Going to be a movie to watch, folks. Curry put on an absolute show last night against the Grizzlies. He only had 9 points in the first half, but he ended up with 41 or 44, something around there. Hit the game-winning shot. I mean, he's unbelievable. But that'll be a must tune-in game to watch. I'm actually going to be live streaming that with my buddies for the play-in games, the Warriors and Lakers game, obviously, of course. I think you guys can see that Lakers. I know my mic's actually covering the jersey, but I'm wearing the Lakers shirt. You can see that right here. I'm all in. I want to see if what LeBron's made of with this ankle injury. But the Jazz went on and won last night. They clinched the number 1 seed. First time for them in franchise history. Bradley Beal's not 100%. That's another part of the play-in. They're going to play the Celtics. I think the Celtics are atrocious. Don't even get me started about them. But, yeah, NBA play-in. You got tomorrow night. We got the Pacers and Hornets, and then we got the Wizards and Celtics. So those will be 2 good games tomorrow night, as Westbrook is a triple-double king. Obviously, you guys know he ended up passing the Big O on the all-time triple-double list. Pretty cool. I think he's a stat stuffer, but I'm not going to talk about Westbrook. LaMelo Ball will be playing in his first postseason game. Pretty cool to see, as he's probably going to be the Rookie of the Year, unless they give it to Anthony Edwards, but I don't think they will. How about this over the weekend? An absurd $11,000 parlay. A $50 parlay turned into $11,000 from a 12-leg parlay. Another one of these parlays, folks. I think it's pretty crazy that this happened. But how about the Knicks and the Hawks? The Knicks are back in the playoffs for the first time, I think, since like 2013 or maybe something around there. But hey, Knicks tickets, if you're looking for a ticket to go to the Madison Square Garden, it's going to be $1,000 for a ticket. I think that's absolutely crazy. But hey, you've got a lot of Knicks fans out there, a lot of people in New York that have a lot of money that will pay for that ticket against the Hawks. But, man, wow, $1,000 for a ticket? I mean, I think that's crazy. Man, oh man, I know I don't have that kind of change. But I think that's pretty crazy to hear. How about Kyrie Irving right across the Brooklyn Bridge joining the 50-40-90 club? He ended up joining with the 50-40-90. I mean, I think that's pretty crazy. I think that's the first time in his career. Kyrie's been in the media obviously a lot lately, with everything going on, but I think it's pretty cool that he ended up doing the 50-40-90 with the Nets as the favorite to win it all. You guys have the Nets coming out of the East? I do. Let me know what you guys think of that. Are the Nets going to pull it together? Are they going to be the best team out of the East, or is Philly going to have something to say about that one? Obviously, Harden, KD, and Kyrie will all be playing in the playoffs, And how about last night's game with that Nets game when it was Nets Cavs, and KD caught a lob off the backboard and just absolutely ferociously slammed it down. Going back to the West Coast real quick, Jared Dudley said teams were ducked the Lakers and some teams were afraid to play them along the season, down the road. And they were managing their schedules so they didn't have to play the Lakers in the playoffs. What do you guys think of that? I think that's that's an interesting comment by Dudley to make because he really hasn't played all year. I mean, he's just another guy on the Lakers bench. But I mean, man, oh man, some shots fired at some of those teams in the West over there. There's a lot of good teams in the West. I really don't know who's going to win. I mean, the Suns are really good. Jazz, Clippers, Lakers, Clippers. I mean, you got a lot of good teams in that Western Conference. Going on to the MLB. Dodgers ended up signing Pujols on the podcast on Friday. I talked about some teams signing Pujols. I actually thought the White Sox would sign Pujols. He ended up getting a 1-year, $420,000 deal. I think it's pretty interesting that somebody ended up did sign him. But man, oh man, I mean the Dodgers are Corey Seager just got hurt for them. He wasn't doing too hot. So Pujols, I guess he fills in the role, maybe a DH type of guy, some depth for them. But since Corey Seager, like I said, just got hurt, you got Gavin Lux and Chris Taylor that will be taking over that spot as well while Seager comes back from a broken hand. They said he's not going to be requiring surgery. So I think it'd be interesting to see where the Dodgers are at because they're not even in first place for now. The Giants are, and then it's the Padres, and then it's them. So we'll see what the Dodgers do without Seager for the time being. How about Vlad Guerrero Jr.? He's off to an amazing start, batting with 11 home runs, batting .319 with a 1.049 on-base percentage. I mean, he's having a great year. As many people, think or would, thought that he would be the star. He'd be a really good player. Well, he's turning out to be just like Pops. But how about this one? Do I have to dread it? Do I have to play sad music? Giancarlo Stanton is hurt once again. What in the actual heck? The guy was on a tear. He's batting .282 with 9 home runs, 24 RBIs. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this guy just can't stay healthy. He might be one of the most star-studded superstars of this generation that can't stay healthy. He might have the number one spot for that. But he goes to the 10-day IL with a quad strain. Another injury for Stanton. He's just so big. Him and Judge, they're always getting hurt. It's like when they're on the field, they're great. When they're off, it's like, I don't even know. But that's the MLB news for that end. I'm going to be wrapping it up here. The NHL playoffs actually kicked off Saturday. I don't really talk about hockey this much on the podcast, but I have to because I got to, put some hockey in there. It is the playoffs. Stanley Cup playoffs are extremely fun to watch. The first game that was kicked off was the Capitals and Bruins. The Capitals ended up winning that one in overtime, 1-0. The series is 1-0. They ended up winning that game. Game 2 kicks off tonight at 7:30. Kuznetsov, I think he should be back as well as Samsonov. I'm not sure on the status of Vitek Vanacek. I know he went out early in the first period in that game, and Craig Anderson took over, and he was fine. But the Capitals ended up winning that one. We got Game 2 tonight, 7:30. How about the Islanders taking down the Penguins in overtime with such a back and forth game with Kyle Palmieri hitting the game-winning goal in overtime. That's going to be a heck of a series. Those two teams always battle one another. Islanders are a great postseason team, as well as the Penguins. Evgeny Malkin didn't play Game 1, but I'm not sure if he's playing. If he's going to be playing in Game 2, but that remains to be seen. How about the Bolts winning last night's game? For all you Lightning fans out there, Braden Point ended up with 2 points. Kucherov had 2 goals. He came back for the first time this entire season, actually. So they ended up winning that one, and then they looked pretty good in that one. They are the defending champions. Ended up winning that one as well. They'll play Tuesday night against the Penguins the Panthers in Game 2. Wild the Knights kicked off last night. It was 0-0 for most of the game, and the Wild ended up winning 1-0. For most people, Vegas could be Stanley Cup Finals, right with the Avalanche in there, right in that West Coast area. Game 2, Bruins Caps tonight. Game 1, Predators and Hurricanes. Hurricanes ended up with 80 points this season. They look hotter than ever. Avalanche and the Blues, the former Stanley Cup winners. The Blues, they're facing off against the President's Trophy winners, Avalanche tonight, as that should be a really good series. I talked a little bit about hockey, talked about the NBA play-in. LeBron tweaked his ankle. Curry's, is he the MVP or not? Who knows? Is Jokic going to be the MVP? I got Jokic winning the MVP. All about the NBA. Jazz ended up with the 1 seed. Make sure to check out that food review that I did yesterday on my Instagram TV. My Instagram is @thejoymonroe. Let's keep growing. Let's keep doing our thing. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.